Sean Hampton lives and breathes for the well-being of his flock. There's no other place he would go but the docks.
Disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
What on earth happened here?
Going to reveal secrets to me, even the darkest thoughts in your heart.
My blood and soul.
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doc.
What can you tell me about the recent events in the hospital?
That Mr. Hampton killed Miss Jones in her room, then ran away.
And did you see all this?
No. I was working by the tents when it all happened. I only entered the room when they asked me to clean up the blood.
Where is Miss Jones's body?
I don't know. I'd imagine the morgue. It all happened so quickly.
Did you see Sean Hampton leave the hospital?
I think I saw a silhouette exiting the hospital gates after the shouting started. At first I thought it was someone who was just scared, but... well, maybe it was him.
Goodbye, nurse. Call...
Oh, Jonathan. I cannot believe my eyes. Poor woman. Butchered by some savage scowl.
Would you care to partake in this meal with me?
Jonathan, how could you say such a thing?
Forgive me if I feel despondent. For there seems to be no end to the suffering and death that surrounds us.
I'm always here for you, John.
What do you know of Ascalon? I was threatened by a creature, a vampire in Whitechapel, stating I had to obey the law of conduct.
What more can you tell me about him?
He was bigger than a man. Huge, in fact. He seemed to radiate violence. I thought he was going to tear me apart. Then he vanished.
Fergal, the executioner of Ascalon. You were fortunate he was not after you, but rather out doing his master's bidding.
What is Ascalon?
The Ascalon Club are the most powerful vampires in Britain and exert tremendous influence. Take my advice and stay well away.
Have you embraced this woman, like the other patient?
Her name was Amelia. And no, I did not kill her.
Is there sufficient vitality in the blood of the sick and dying patient?
Yes, Jonathan. The hunger gnaws at me every waking hour.
Temptation surrounds us. Rich, vital.
Over the years, any pleasure I once gleaned from feeding is long gone. I drink for sustenance. And though I still thirst for more, I restrain myself.
I have experienced a certain difficulty when faced with holy symbols or trying to enter religious buildings. Have you?
Now that's quite a question. I don't know why, but yes. It has happened to me.
Is this a sign? The hand of God in action?
I don't have the answers, Jonathan. But I believe superstition and magic is just fact awaiting the lens of science.
Aren't you frightened?
Very little scares me, my dear. To be compelled to avoid symbols of faith does not concern me.
Thank you, my lady. I hope to see you again soon.
I thought last time was epidemic. Hey, Doc.
What can you tell me about the recent commotion in the hospital?
All I know is I ain't letting anyone rip my throat out in my sleep. I found myself a nice blade, Doc. I'm ready.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Hello again, Mr. Blunt.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Miss. Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember it.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect that.
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really?
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Do you know where I can find Sean Hampton? I need to talk to him.
The sad saint. Why on earth do you want to talk to him?
He was one of my patients at the Pembroke Hospital.
Oh, yeah. I heard the poor bastard had been abducted by some cunt.
Goodbye, mister.
Got no idea.
You again. What do you want?
Goodbye. Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment.
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, mate?
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace it.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of...
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence.
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from...
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That's...
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access...
Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
I believe you manipulated Booth Digby to get everything you wanted from him. Both inside and outside the bedroom.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know. He makes me feel good. And that's a first.
So you're just like any other couple, after all, are you not?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated on me.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution.
What happened exactly?
I don't know, and I don't care.
So you have no idea what really happened?
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor.
And your conscience is clear?
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed.
So you decide who lives and who dies?
Yes, Doctor. Just like that.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
The sad saint? I heard he was mugged or something.
Yes, he was. But he left hospital recently.
You don't say. Well, I suppose it's good news for the homeless and the useless. Ask them, they must know something.
Can I see what you...
As long as you have money, I'll show you all. Without the wet boots keeping things straight, these parks will be running completely amok. Pleasure, sir. Been a while since we've seen any new places round here.
Mark my words, miss. These murders are the work of a vampire.
Not a drop of blood left in his body. This is the work of a vampire.
I'm a tracker of these creatures. A vampire hunter.
You best be off to your hunting then. For if the sewer dog is back and hunting all these poor folk, he needs a catching.
A sewer dog? What's it look like?
It's an old story. A monster with daggers for teeth and icy claws. He comes of a sudden, nighttime, claiming innocence, then vanishes.
Teeth?
So few
Claws,
clients.
murders by
When the
night.
epidemic, no
Good
one
evening,
dares go
sir.
outside.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I...
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember.
These are good drinks just as likely to cause a problem as to solve one.
Inebriation aside, do you need medical help?
Yes. I feel sicker than you.
Should have offered a drink.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake, too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations.
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really...
Sounds like you were an idealist.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believe that exclusive property is a robbery and...
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most...
Perhaps I should shut the turquoise for a time.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
These are good drinks just as likely to...
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if...
No. I hope they'll come to share my point.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit,
The epidemic, no one dares go outside.
I'm looking for Mr. Sean Hampton. Do you know where I could find him?
I really don't know. I heard he'd been abducted. I don't know if he's back.
Who could tell me then?
About the sad saint. I'll try asking Tom what's about.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my...
Thank you for your hospitality.
I'm still Tom Watts.
Tom, I need to find Sean Hampton as quickly as possible.
I heard the sad saint was recovering at Pembroke Hospital.
I believe he returned to his flock.
Oh, I bet you're right. Sean can't help but worry about the poor...
Please, tell me.
Well, I don't like to gossip, but I heard that the sad...
The important thing is I find him. Quickly.
Why not try his night asylum? He takes care of those who need a meal or a roof there.
Where is it?
It's in an old warehouse, northwest of here. Just follow the bank to the west and go north when you reach the end of the pier.
Goodbye, Mr. Watt.
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
Perhaps I should
Evening, miss. I'm much more myself than when we first met.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle, then.
Excuse my curiosity.
Something bothering you?
Believe me, I never...
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me.
I'm sorry if I worried you.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow.
Miss Cavendish, would you be willing to help me locate Sean Hampton?
You better ask Tom, sir.
Why not answer me?
We respect the privacy of our customers here, sir. Only Tom...
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as the sold one.
Good evening, sir. Have you witnessed any suspicious activity or strange events recently?
And what do you define as a strange event?
My name is Ichabod Throgmorton.
A vampire hunter?
I know what you're thinking. I'm just another lunatic howling at the moon, but I'm not. The bloodsuckers exist.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
A man of science!
What can you tell me about this neighbor?
Did you hear about what happened to Jack Gillingham?
It's impossible to protect everyone.
But it's my duty. I am convinced Jack Gillingham was killed by a vampire.
So, how exactly are you protecting these people?
I patrol late at night.
Can I help in any way?
Actually, yes. I plan to put up posters.
Are you asking me to paste posters about vampires?
If you wouldn't mind. If you did that...
How do you identify...
It's simple, really. They can't stand...
Have you ever killed one of these creatures?
Of course I have. What kind of question?
Have you heard of the Guard of Prewood?
Of course. They're dedicated...
Were you ever tempted to join the Guard?
I did think about it, but I'm more of a silent hunter.
So you hunt alone?
Vampires are just like every other predator. They hunt when they're hungry.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton.
The sad saint? He should be at his night asylum at this hour.
Really? Why is that?
It's nothing personal, Doctor. I'm sure your intentions are good, but...
I could make you tell me, but I respect your refusal.
All I will say is this. Gossip has it that when he was a child, he was molested. By a priest of all people. Funny thing is, though, it only strengthened his faith.
Maybe at least you can tell me who could help.
Tell you what, go and chat with Tom Watts.
Goodbye.
Disgusting movie. Look lively! It's on to us! All of you bloody bitches need killing! Come on, vermin! I'll take a taste!
The wounds on this corpse are deep, the result of rabid rage. If this is Sean's doing, he's become a murderous beast. I have this thirst for blood.
What have we... Lost your horse, Governor? Or are you just out of your mind?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
My name is Giselle Paxton, but I don't have time.
Have we met before? That's quite judgmental.
Sir, I've led enough strikes when I had a job to...
May I ask what you...
I'm killing myself scraping for a living. And you?
As I told you, I'm a doctor. You have...
Oh, a doctor. Born with money in enough.
Why such hatred?
Course I am. Fuck, you're so blind. You don't even see...
What can you tell me?
Tell you what, just spend a few weeks here, and then ask me that.
If you have something to say, say it.
Oh. You want information?
If you have some...
Oh. You want information instead? Well, here's some for you. Giselle Paxton...
You don't know me.
Your manners, your clothes, your words tell me everything about you, sir. I know your kind, and you don't belong here.
You're right. I have never suffered from poverty. But that doesn't mean I don't fight it and its consequences.
I really doubt you ever had to fight for anything in your...
You speak of strikes and class enemy.
You bet I am. Well, I was. Nowadays, I'm just another worker blacklisted by the big companies.
You lost your job.
Those bastards really hate a worker who refuses slave wages and unsafe conditions, especially when it's a woman.
Isn't the whole point of trade unions to help workers in need?
A few nights back, I lost the money my companions had asked me to hide. With me and my sister being penniless, they thought I stole it.
What really happened?
I drank too much that night. Strange men saw me count the money.
I'm looking for Sean Hampton.
What is it you want? Does he owe you money? Has he displeased your Royal Highness?
Well, I'll leave.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Yeah, people are still working at this time, while you're not slurping soup before bed. This worries me.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
A fancy doctor lurking at night by the docks?
And what about you? Working outside at night in this dangerous part of town.
You want to know my secret?
Is it not dangerous to work?
As long as I have good legs, I can run away from trouble.
Are you homeless, Miss?
Mr. Hampton's night asylum is our new home now. It's a safe place.
What can you tell me about this?
It's just the nickname of Sean Hampton.
What can you tell me about this place?
It may be okay for a strong girl like me, but a dandy
You really think I should go back to a safer place?
No. I think you had better stay and help as many people as you can.
Which local dangers?
Well, the gangs, the thieves...
Well, I am not someone so...
Glad to hear that. And if you get into trouble, you can...
I'm looking for Sean Hampton.
Mr. Hampton must be in his office at the night asylum he manages.
He was a patient of mine at the Pembroke Hospital.
I see. Well, Mr. Hampton is a discreet and...
Goodbye, Miss Paxton.
I hope the turquoise turtles.
This Seymour worries me. Perhaps Sean knows something about him.
Why the long face, Doctor?
Is it all that worries you, Sean? My long face?
This is a blessing for me, to become a Skal. Immortality gives me more time and energy, if truth be known, to run a shelter. What more could I want?
Since you left Pembroke, the amount of blood that has been shed, it's hard to believe you, Sean.
Ask what you will. As the Lord is my shepherd, I will not speak a lie to you.
Aren't you afraid of what you've become?
We are blessed, Doctor. Can't you see it? The Lord has made us able to walk amongst the plague and aid those that need it.
Do you think this is a blessing when God's own house and holy symbols repel you?
If that is your burden, Doctor, so be it. But I do not fear the cross.
But you must drink blood now to survive.
No, not your scripture. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. So...
Why return here?
This is my home. These people are my flock. You will always find me where I am needed.
Wonders never cease. Skal managing an asylum.
And what of you? A vampire doctor? Meals laid out before you. Yet you restrain.
And what about William Bishop? He tried to take care of you. But this hunger, this thirst, cannot be restrained.
Alas, poor William. He had a good soul, but was weak in spirit. He could not shake the thirst for booze, never mind blood. But have faith. My will is far stronger than his.
Why did you kill Miss Jones at the Pembroke Hospital?
Killed old Harriet? You must be mad, Doctor. Why would I do such a thing?
So you claim Miss Jones' death was not by your hand, nor the other incidents at Pembroke?
Though Harriet was an angry, spiteful woman, she was one of God's creatures. I have nothing but love for all he has made.
But you were close to her.
Of course. But she was lost, separated from the fold.
People have been murdered. I've seen the blood. I don't believe you can be trusted.
Have a little faith, Doctor. If you will follow, I will guide you to the light.
How do you plan to do that?
Take this key of the old sewers. The entrance is by the riverbank, south from here. There you'll find all the proof you need.
I will not look kindly on you if you're trying to trick me.
I'll be here when you return. If you still think I'm a threat then, well, I'll surrender myself to your judgment.